Okay, so we are starting with the fifth chapter today. We finished the first four chapters of seventh canto last class, and this chapter is titled Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. So the story goes like this. Um, so Prahlada was born, and he was such a nice boy. And Prahlada was sent to the sons of Sukracharya. Sukracharya is the guru of the demons. And we know Hiranyakashipu is the demon king at this time, and he's controlling the entire universe because he got this boon from Brahma that nobody can defeat him. So he had defeated all the demigods, and he was showing a lot of excesses in the world. He even was threatening the earth to always give the riches to him without doing any endeavor, and so everything, like even when he looked at the sky, there were beautiful formations, so that we know about the northern lights, like the aurora borealis and things like that. Even that was showing up in the sky, just so that Hiranyakashipu would be happy, and everybody was scared of Hiranyakashipu because he had got this boon that nobody can harm him or defeat him from Brahma after his great penance. So, because he had this wonderful son, again, he didn't. Hiranyakashipu is such a big enemy of Lord Vishnu because Lord Vishnu had killed his brother when he came as his boar form. So Hiranyakashipu has these brahmanas, but they never worship Vishnu. They only teach about dharma, artha, kama, and all those kind of worldly activities, like how to amass wealth, what are the best ways to enjoy the wealth. So these were the kind of teachings these teachers Shanda and Amarka would teach Prahlad. But Prahlad has no interest in any of that. Um, and we'll find out why Prahlad had no interest in any of these teachings soon. Um, so one day, after some time had passed, when Prahlad had learned with Shanta and Amarka, um, the Prahlada, Hiranyakashipu took Prahlada on his lap. And, as a loving son, he was thinking, this is just a 5-year-old boy. Let me ask him, what is your favorite subject, or what did you learn that is the most important? So he's asking, this is the first question by Hiranyakashipu. And he was thinking, 5-year-old boy will tell some broken things, like they don't cannot pronounce a word correctly, or they'll say something funny that will, make him amused. That's what he was expecting. But when he asked Prahlad what is his favorite subject and what did he learn, Prahlad instructs Hiranyakashipu that for a person who is who is attached to material life, the best thing to do is to leave everything and go to the forest. So can you even imagine, like, everybody is very afraid of Hiranyakashipu, but Prahlad is not afraid. He's telling what he thinks is right. He said, um, "No, you should just leave everything and go to the forest and pray to Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. Take shelter of Lord Hari's lotus feet." This was the instruction of Prahlad. So. Hiranyakashipu was very did not get angry the first time. He was laughing out loud. Again, he was thinking, "Oh, this little boy, maybe some Vaishnavas got into the ashram of Sanda and Amarka and were teaching my son about my enemy." And so he said, Shanda and Amarka, make sure there are no Vaishnavas or no person who worships Lord Vishnu in the ashram. They're secretly teaching this boy something. So make sure and protect this boy against those bad people. So um, so Shanta and Amarka said, "Oh yes, yes," and they took um, Prahlad back to their ashram, and they were acting very nice with Prahlad, and slowly asked him, what did you learn? Who polluted your intelligence? Because nobody else in class talks like that, and tells their dad to go leave everything and go pray to Lord Vishnu. So how did you get this intelligence about the enemy?" And then uh, Prahlad says, those who are in Maya, those are the folks who always thinks of enemies and friends. Those who are devotees, they see everybody equally because everybody is um, has it's a spirit soul and coming from Krishna. So they don't have, oh, one is better than the other or any of that is what Prahlad told them. Um, and he tells them that he is attracted to Lord Vishnu just like a magnet attracts iron. So if Lord Vishnu or Krishna attracts um, Prahlad. So they were very angry. They were also enemies of Lord Vishnu, and they said, "Oh, bring a stick. We have to teach this kid uh, about the real knowledge." And they said, "Oh, this kid is like a thorn tree in a sandalwood forest." He was comparing, Sanda and Amarka were comparing that these demons who didn't believe in Lord Vishnu, they were all just sandalwood trees. And then this devotee Prahlad is just a thorn bush, and he- they were comparing Lord Vishnu to an axe that cuts down these sandalwood trees, and the handle of the axe is actually Prahlad. So they were just comparing what they felt about Vishnu and Prahlad. So they forcefully taught Prahlad about Dharma, Artha, and Kama. Dharma is what you need to do. So there are different interpretation of Dharma. Dharma can be seen as religion. Dharma can be seen as your duty. So they were teaching about what are the rules to be followed in life, and they were talking on how to make economic development or artha or amass wealth, and then karma is how to enjoy that wealth. So these were their kind of teachings, um, and they also taught Prahlad about Chaturstayam. Chaturstayam is about diplomacy because Prahlad is the son of a big king, so they wanted to teach him how Prahlad could rule in the future. So there are certain principles of diplomacy called Samadana Beda Danda. Sama is how to pacify somebody who is angry or who is not favorable. That is Sama. Dana is how to give charity and make people favorable. Beda is how to differentiate, how to divide and conquer. Um, and Danda is how to punish people who are not favorable with you. So all these diplomatic things were being taught by Shanda and Amarka, and they were hoping that the next time they take um, Prahlad to Hiranyakashipu, he will say the right thing because this is what they're injecting into the brain of the little kid. They were forcibly teaching him all of these things. So Prahlada really wasn't interested, and then they took Prahlad to his mother Kayadu, or Hiranyakashipu's wife, and Mother Kayadu gave nice bath to Prahlad decorated him with nice jewels, and then Chanda and Amarka took Prahlad to Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu was very happy. Again, every father is happy to see their son and or daughter. And Hiranyakashipu took Prahlad and put him in his lap, and actually tears of love were falling from Hiranyakashipu's eyes. So you can see how much affectionate he is to his son, and the tears were falling and making little Prahlad all damp and wet. Um, and then Hiranyakashipu asked the question. The question was, what was the best knowledge that your teachers taught you? So the first time uh, he took Prahlad on the lap few days or months before was he asked, what do you think is the best knowledge? And now he's saying, what is the best knowledge your teachers taught you? Again, he's hoping for an answer that is more aligned with his philosophy, because he asked Chanda and Amarka to teach him about diplomacy and how to amass wealth and enjoy and all that. So Prahlad this time he said, "What is the best knowledge teachers taught you?" He told about Navavida Bhakti. Navavida Bhakti means how to um, perform bhakti. There are 9 ways, and this is a very famous verse that says Shravanam Kirtana Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. So these 9 forms of bhakti, again, this is what we all follow. This is the way that we can, express our love for God. Is first hearing, just like all of you are doing on this Sunday. You're trying to hear about Krishna's and his devotee story. So that is the easiest and the best Shravanam. So it is hearing, and we know the great devotee who teaches us in hearing is Parikshit Maharaj, because he has only 7 days to live, and this whole Bhagavatam is he's listening to it, so he's exercising this type of bhakti of Shravanam. Then there's Kirtanam. Kirtanam is where you're chanting or glorifying the Lord. So that is Sukadeva Goswami is a great devotee who teaches us, because Sukadeva Goswami is teaching Parikshit Maharaj, and he is also narrating with a lot of love for the Lord. So he's the best acharya in Kirtanam. Then Smaranam, that is Prahlad, because Prahlad is always thinking about the Lord. Um, Padasevan. Again, this devotee part, who is the best in each of this, that's not part of this story, but this is something it's good to know, like who exhibits this part of bhakti the most. But if anybody asks you, where did the 9 types of bhakti, where did you learn? It is from um, this wonderful devotee, Prahlad's mouth, that it came, and it is captured in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, the fourth form of bhakti is Pada Sevanam, and we know Mother Lakshmi is the best server of the lotus feet of the Lord. Archanam is, deity worship, and that Maharaj Prithu was the best at it. Vandanam is Akrura, is praying to the Lord. Dasyam, we know Hanuman is the greatest servant of Lord Ram, so he executes orders of the Lord in the more mood of a humble servant. That is Dasyam. Sakyam, as a friend to the Lord. We know Arjun is the best friend of Lord Krishna, so he exhibits this friendship aspect of love or bhakti in the best form. And then Atmanivedam is full surrender. And we know Bali Maharaj, that story is coming soon. We'll learn about it. This is where Bali Maharaj, surrenders his entire life and body to the Lord, to Lord Vamanadev. So this is called Navavida Bhakti, and these are the 9 limbs of bhakti that you can hear in Bhakti Yoga. So uh, Prahlad explains this to Hiranyakashipu. Like he speaks about Vishnu Smaranam, and can you just imagine this, king of the universe who's the enemy of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, hearing how you can be a good devotee to Krishna? What would be his reaction? What do you think was his reaction? Anybody knows? Anybody thinks they know? So we just before Prahlad uttered this verse, he was crying with love for his son. So what happens immediately after the son says his love for Lord Vishnu like this? He throws the kid and was very angry, and he um, he he immediately chastises Shanda and Amarka. He says, "What are you guys teaching? You are brahmanas who are disguised as my enemies, and you are teaching him the about my enemy." And they were very angry. And so then Shanta and Amarka said, "I'm sorry, we are not teaching you this. You cannot, blame us for all this, what this boy is saying. He has naturally developed this love for Lord Vishnu." So Hiranyakashipu then becomes very angry at Prahlad and says, "You are the most fallen in our family." So yeah, he was like, "Where did you learn this mentality if your gurus didn't teach you?" Then Prahlad again describes about about householders like his dad who are always anxious and always wanting sense enjoyment. So he says there is no hope for such people, even with their effort, or even if other materialists instructs them, there's no point in explaining all this to such a person. So he's telling his dad that his dad is in the wrong path. Uh, and with uncontrolled senses and only looking for sense enjoyment, they're living in a hellish life, chewing the chewed. So, and he says all this philosophy about materialists um, won't get any benefit of attraction to Lord Vishnu unless they get the mercy of a devotee. For that, they have to first, bow down to a devotee and take the dust of their lotus feet, and then only they can get out of this mess. So, you know, Prahlad is not afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, even if he folds his eyebrows in anger a little bit, the whole world was trembling with fear. But you see, this great devotee Prahlad, he is not afraid of anything. He is just saying the truth and what he felt. He had learned, and where did he learn all this? That's what we're going to find out. So Hiranyakashipu understands that his son cannot be taught. He is too much of a devotee, and he calls him the killer of his uncle because Hiranyakashipu's brother, was killed by Lord Vishnu. So he's calling Prahlad the killer because Prahlad is siding with Lord Vishnu. Um, at such a young age, Prahlad has no affection for his person. He's untrustworthy. So he orders Prahlad to be killed. So just imagine this dad who was in so much love for his son, when he found out that the son is not aligned with his philosophy, he felt he should be killed. So we see how the demons are so intolerant. So if somebody doesn't believe in what they believe, they want to kill them, even if they're their son. So if somebody doesn't take their orders, they want to just kill them. So we see how Hiranyakashipu, the change of mood of Hiranyakashipu, he orders that his son to be killed. Um, he said. So he also makes some analogies. He says, in a forest, if there are nice medicinal herbs, you take that. So externally, you can give somebody protection if they are going to be beneficial for you. If they're not beneficial for you, they should be just killed, just as a limb that is deceased. So we know today that um, if somebody goes to a war and there's a big bomb blast and one of their limb is totally it's oozing of blood and it's fully deceased, and if they don't cut off that limb, the whole body is going to die. So they amputate that limb, the hand or leg. So similarly, he's saying this Prahlad should be amputated from this body because he cannot be controlled. He's untrustworthy. To see how Hiranyakashipu changed his mood to being inimical to Prahlad, and he ordered Prahlad to be killed. But they did everything they could to kill Prahlad, but Prahlad was nothing happened to Prahlad. They threw him beneath the feet of an elephant. They put him in a pit of snakes. They made destructive spells on him. They hurled him from the top of a mountain. And you see, the Lord is always protecting his devotee. They tried to do illusory tricks on him. They imprisoned him. They gave him poison. They starved him. They put him outside in the elements where there is a big storm or there's fire. There's a story of Holika, the sister of Hiranyakashipu, taking him into the fire to burn him. But actually, Holika died, and Prahlad, nothing happened to Prahlad. So there's so many, those details into Holika's story. It doesn't, the Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't explain it. It just goes to these aspects that wind, fire, water, everything was used, but nothing was happening. They threw heavy stones to crush little Prahlad, but Prahlad, nothing happened to Prahlad because the Lord was protecting. So from this, we can understand if the Lord decides to protect someone, nobody can kill him. And if the Lord decides to kill someone, nobody can protect that person. So Hiranyakashipu is starting to get the fear. He got the boon of uh, being like immortal, like he cannot be killed by anyone. So even though he was in this position of great power, he's full of fear, and he's thinking, my son is got this boon of being immortal, but looks like because I'm inimical to my son, I'm going to die because I tried everything I can to kill Prahlad, but he's protected by some force that I'm not able to understand. I thought I was the only force in this world, but no, somebody else is protecting my son. So he started developing this fear. Now we can see the difference of Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, even though he had all the material happiness, he's full of fear. And Prahlad, all he has is the love for Lord, and he has no fear. So that's one important byproduct of having love for God is you don't fear anything. Um, so you are Abhay. That's like Prahlad, our Prabhupada is called Abhay Charan. So he's at the feet of the Lord, and um, he's fearless. So that's the nature of Prahlad, and he couldn't do anything, and so he said, okay, just he was just discussing with Shanda and Amarka what to do, and they said, hey, let's give it another shot. We are going to start teaching him very rigorously. So let me take Prahlad to our ashram with the other kids. We'll just work on him until Shukracharya was not there at that time. Until he returns, we will try our best to change this boy's mind. So they took Prahlad. And what did Prahlad do there? Prahlad was when Chanda and Amarka were giving breaks to his other classmates. Prahlad was explaining about Krishna and how to be a devotee to these friends. And they were calling Prahlad to play, but Prahlad said, "Let me tell you about the real, you know, mission of our lives." So he was telling kids that, what is Chanda and Amarka teaching us is not the real knowledge. The the uh, the real knowledge is learning about the Supreme Lord and who we truly are. We are spirit souls, and if we serve the Lord, then the Lord will protect us, because any other material goal you have, you lose one day. But if you take love for God, then that cannot be taken by anyone, and you'll get all protection, and also you'll get all the other things you want in life, because God will give you that. So he was trying to, convince them that bhakti is the best process. And then they were all just demons kids, but they were all listening to Prahlad and his teachings. So this is what's covered in the next chapter, instruction of Prahlad to his demoniac classmates. He tells his friends that we should start bhakti in childhood itself, because the life is too short. It goes away very fast. 1 to 5 years is called Kaumara, 5 to 10 is called Pauganda, 10 to 15 is called Kaishora, and greater than 15 is Yauvana. So there's one wonderful instruction that all of you can also take is the best time to start bhakti is in childhood itself. And that is the instruction of Prahlad to all his friends who are the other 5 years old. And he tells them how important, because it is to take on bhakti early. If you're not attached to Krishna at in the childhood, it is very difficult to develop that attachment when you grow up and you're engaged in other activities. You have other duties as a father, mother, as a son or daughter of older parents. You have so many duties, but then, yeah, it'll be difficult to find time to develop this attachment for the Lord. So Prahlad gives this wonderful instruction to his friends and tells everybody to, surrender to the Lord, and then the Lord will take care of everything, and He'll give you good intelligence to do what you do as well. So he also says this human life, it goes away very fast. Out of 100 years of a human life, 50 years or almost half of it, everybody is sleeping. Everybody has to sleep. So 50 years is gone like that. 20 years is lost in childhood. 20 years is in old age, like 80 to 100. Everybody old, they can't travel, they develop issues. So that 20 years is gone like that. And then and the rest, you are bringing up your own family, and you have to do all that. So there's no time. There's urgency. You should all take up to love for Lord, understand about God, just like all of you are doing. Uh, and in parallel, you are doing your schoolwork also. But there are many who don't care about God and who are atheistic. So they are going in the wrong path. But all of you are heading in the right directions. That's what we can learn from how Prahlad Maharaj is instructing his friends. Um, so he's comparing like thieves, servants, and merchants. They try to get money by risking their own life. So they think money is honey and money is everything. But this life is very precious. If somebody lose their life trying to, rob a bank and they get shot, they were just running after money, but this life was so precious. They could have used it in so many better ways. So that's the mentality of today's population. All of them are just thinking about money and not about their spiritual progress. So as kids, this is the best time to take up love for God. Um, Also, some people say, "Oh, you are just kids. Just don't think about God now. You can think when you're old." So many people might instruct you like that, but then the problem is you get attached to other things so much that you don't have any time for bhakti. So Prahlad says it's like the silkworm. The life of a silkworm. It makes a cocoon. So it puts its own bodily extract and makes a cocoon. That's what becomes a silk thread. So it makes a cocoon all around it, and then it gets stuck in it and it dies. And then the thread is used for making silk. So that's what everybody else is doing, is just building this, tying themselves in a prison, and then life ends like that. Um, then he instructs on how to worship the Supreme Lord. There's no point focusing on the Dharma, Artha, Kama, because everybody is doing that. They're just doing fruitive work. Like, I do this, I get this in return, and then I can enjoy this. So that is the mentality. But that mindset need to change. That, hey, I love God. I'm going to learn for God. I'm going to get money for God. I'm going to raise children so that they become good devotees of the Lord. So it's just a mindset change. You might be doing the same thing, but all you need is love for God. So these are wonderful instruction from a boy, that like a child like all of you, who how did he learn all this? So that is the big question. That's the same question that all the friends asked him. Hey, we are also in your same class, but we didn't know all this information. So then Prahlad says, I have learned this from my guru, who is Narada Muni. Now, they never see Narada Muni in that ashram. How did he learn? So actually, then Prahlad discussed the story of how Narada Muni taught him this knowledge. So this knowledge is not coming in uh, like what he thought and what is his opinion. He's learning from a higher source. So that's where the right knowledge is. It's coming from the Lord Himself. It's passed from guru to disciple. Disciple becomes a guru, and then like that, it's being passed. So it is not something somebody imagined in their mind and then made that into instructions. This is directly coming from the Lord, and so he's saying that the knowledge that he's giving his friends is bona fide. And how did he learn it? So he tells the story that Hiranyakashipu, when he went for his austerities to get all the powers, the demigods and Indra, they came to attack Prahlad's mother, or Hiranyakashipu's wife. So they attacked the demons, defeated them, and was taking custody of this pregnant lady, and they were going to take her away, and what they wanted is to kill the baby in the womb of Hiranyakashipu's wife, because they felt Hiranyakashipu's son would be a bigger demon than Hiranyakashipu. And they're already having so many problems, so they didn't want his son to also come into the world and cause more problems. So immediately Narada Muni came there and told, "Oh, don't hurt the sinless lady. Just because she's a wife of a criminal, you shouldn't hurt her." And then they said, "Oh, we are not going to hurt her. We were just going to take her away, and then when she gives birth to this child, we would kill that child, because that child is going to create a lot of problems." Then Narada Muni said, "Who do you think the child is? The child is a Mahabhagavat. He is a great devotee." So this is future Prahlad. So this is what we can see from the demigods. They always take the instruction of a higher authority, and they said, "Oh, this is a great devotee of the Lord. Oh, we are sorry." And they were going to hurt or take away Kayadu. They just circumambulated her, like making circles around her in respect, and even paid obeisances, because if she's going to have a devotee of Lord Krishna in a womb, then a devotee is, greater than any of the demigods. So they just, left her alone. And Narada Muni took her into his protection, took her to his ashram, and that's where Narada Muni had instructed Kayadu about all the knowledge about Krishna and what you need to do in bhakti, and all that Prahlad was saying so far was coming from Narada Muni's instructions to Kayadu. And actually, Kayadu was not in a frame of mind to listen and think about it, but the little baby in the womb was listening to all these instructions. This is what we can see. Like all of you go to the same class, but there are some students who do well, the others don't. So because the good students listen better in class, so we can see how this baby who can't even speak yet, in the womb, the fetus in the womb, took took these instructions uh, as very important and internalized them. But the mother Kayadu, because she is very anxious about the attack that happened, about when her husband will return, whether the baby will be safe, and being in that frame of mind, she never cared or learned the instructions well. But the baby in the womb had become such a great devotee, listening by Shravanam. He became this great devotee, Prahlad. And he told them how he learned about the nature of the soul, how the body is made of material elements, and all that we have already learned in Bhagavad Gita. All that Prahlad learned from Kayadu's womb, in Narada Muni's ashram, when Narada Muni was speaking all this knowledge to his mother. So we can end the class here, and go to the Kahoot quiz. Sorry, we went a little over. Um, so we can quickly do the Kahoot. Is there any questions you have on the topics covered today about Prahlad? Any comments? Do you like Prahlad's story? You must have heard it, but probably forgot the details. So it's always good to hear again and again about the great devotees of the Lord. I hope all of you enjoyed the story, and the Kahoot will make sure you don't forget the story again. Because when you learn and relearn and take quizzes, all that will give you enough experience to not forget. So I hope all of you can do the Kahoot as well. I see only two devotees have joined, Meenakshi ji and Nitin ji. Is Tarun ji, Radha Chaitra ji, Santosh ji able to join?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Is Santosh ji joining?
No, Prabhuji.
No? Okay. So let's get started. Okay, who were the sons of Shukracharya who were instructed to teach Prahlad? Jay, Vijay, Shanda and Amarka, Nakula, Sahdeva, Bharat and Shatrughna. Yes, all of you got it right. That's great. So you can always remember this name, Shanda and Amarka. Okay, Nitin ji is in first place, Tarun ji, Meenakshi ji, Radha Chaitra ji, all of you answered correctly. Very good. Prahlad liked to learn political philosophy that taught Swapara, dualities of friends and enemies. Did Prahlad like the teachings of Sanda and Amarka? Actually, he did not, because, it was talking about how to make friends and how to make enemies, and Prahlad doesn't like that because he treats everybody the same. Okay. When Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad to tell him the best of all subjects, what did he answer? Those in anxiety, mind absorbed in selfish activities must go to the forest, leave materialistic household life, take shelter of Lord Hari, all of the above. Yes, all of the above. So this is the first time Hiranyakashipu spoke to Prahlad. He's asking in a very just expecting a childish answer, but Prahlad said, Stop your business and go take shelter of Lord Hari or Lord Vishnu or Krishna." Okay. Hiranyakashipu laughed at Prahlad's answer to go to forest and worship Hari. True or false? So the first time, what happened? Did he get angry or did he laugh? Yes, he just laughed. He was thinking, oh, this is just a little kid having the wrong information. Okay, what did Prahlad answer when Chanda and Amarka asked him who polluted his intelligence? Only material conceptions make one think of others as a friend and enemy. When one gets mercy of Krishna, nobody is a friend or enemy. I am always attracted to Lord Chakrapani, all of the above. Chakrapani is Krishna. Chakra means the Sudarshana Chakra. A person who wields the chakra is also known Chakrapani, another name for Krishna. Okay. Sixth question, true or false? Chanda and Amarka forcibly taught Prahlad Dharma, Artha, Kama, true or false? So yes, so they were trying to, they did, they thought, they can teach this and get any bhakti for Lord Vishnu out of his mind. So they were teaching very, very rigorously about Dharma, Artha, Kama. Okay, what did Prahlad answer in the second meeting with Hiranyakashipu when he asked him, what did his teachers teach him? The four diplomatic principles, religion, economic development, and sense gratification, nine process of bhakti. Yes, this very important lesson for all of us is about the nine different processes of bhakti that Prahlad told Hiranyakashipu. So, what did Hiranyakashipu do when he heard the Navavidha Bhakti principles from Prahlad? Got angry, chastised Chanda and Amarka, told Prahlad that he is most fallen in the family, all of the above. So the first meeting he was happy, or he was laughing it off, but then he became angry and he was chastising Shanda and Amarka. When they said they were not at fault, then he said Prahlad is the most fallen in the family. Okay. What did Prahlad reply to Hiranyakashipu when he was angry and called him the most fallen in the family? Attraction to Krishna is never aroused for a attached householder. Uncontrolled senses cause hellish life, chewing the chewed. Ignorant, ambitious, misled, and entangled will be saved only by devotees. All of the above. Yes, all of the above. Right? Tarunji is on fire. 7 correct answers in a row. Okay, what was Hiranyakashipu's reaction to Prahlada's philosophy? Ordered to kill Prahlad, tried to make Prahlad understand, told Prahlad to focus on politics, all of the above. Yes, the correct answer is he immediately ordered to kill Prahlad when he heard about what Prahlad had to say. Okay, Taranji is in first place now. What was Hiranyakashipu's justification to kill Prahlad? A deceased bodily limb should be amputated. Prahlad had a fatal disease. Prahlad, being unintelligent, cannot be his successor. All of the above. Yes. This is not all of the above. I tricked all of you, looks like. So his analogy was when a limb is deceased, that should be amputated. So scores have not changed. Prahlada was killed by Hiranyakashipu. True or false? So he tried many ways, but was he successful or not? No, Hiranyakashipu could not kill Prahlad, though he tried everything possible. Okay. What did Hiranyakashipu do when all his attempts to kill Prahlad failed? Sent him away to another country, sent him to be in prison, send him back to school, all of the above. Yes, he asked Shanda and Amarka to take him, and they were trying again to teach him. Okay. 14th question. Prahlad's classmates were fond of him and listened to his teachings. True or false? His classmates were all demons' children. Were they fond of this nice boy Prahlad? Yes or no? Yes, they were listening because, when you have a nice person, you always listen to them. Okay, Taranji is in first place. What is the best time to start bhakti? Childhood, old age, middle age, deathbed? Yes, childhood is the best time, and all of you are doing great to starting bhakti early in your life. Okay. Prahlad instructed his friends that pleasing Krishna is not difficult. True or false? Yes, actually true. Prahlad was saying, all you have to do is to, focus on Lord Murari, um, and everything will work out because, everything you want, if you just go for material, you will get that, but there you'll lose that. But when you pray to the Lord, He gives you everything that you need. So it's very easy, but nobody takes to this process. It's not at all difficult to love God because He wants to love you. If you take one step towards Krishna, He'll take 100 steps towards you. We learned how He reciprocates with His devotees. Yes. Where did Prahlad receive the knowledge of bhakti? Hiranyakashipu, Indra, Narada Muni, Shanda, and Amarka. Yes, Narada Muni is his spiritual master. As Narada Muni is spiritual master of Dhruva also, right? Many, many devotees. Who attacked Kayadu, Prahlad's mother, when she was pregnant? Demigods headed by Indra, demons in the absence of Hiranyakashipu, Narada Muni, Shukracharya. Yes, demigods headed by Indra. Okay, last question for today. Kayadu lived in the protection of Narada Muni in his ashram until Hiranyakashipu returned. True or false? Yes, true. Let's see who the winners are. Everybody is a winner. Third place goes to Radha Chaitra ji. Second place goes to Nitin ji. And first place goes to Tarun ji. Hare Krishna. And Meenakshi ji and Heyman ji are fourth and fifth, but everybody is a winner. Thank you so much for saying the extra 15 minutes. I hope you all enjoyed the story of Prahlad and can take some of the good instructions from this great devotee.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Pancha
Hare Krishna,
Kalpatarupasya,
Prabhuji.
Kripasundabhyo, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namaha. Have a great week. See you all next week. And congratulations, Tarunji. Hare Krishna.